Welcome back to the Layman's Law School. Today, all of us are here. I'm so excited.
I know, it's a miracle.
The band is back.
I've been missing y'all.
Yeah,
I know.
same. I've missed a couple.
Yeah.
Chase misses some all the time, so we can't.
Well, I think.
I had to admit, Chase has been the regular now, so we gotta. We can't pick on Chase anymore after his
Well,
house
as
got all
most people
done.
know, I think y'all are full-time lawyers, so that does take priority, unfortunately, over our little
true.
podcast. But today we're actually going to talk about porch pirates,
That's
glitter
right.
bombs.
Sounds good.
From prime delivery to crime delivery. So
Steve Harvey is jealous.
probably yes.
Of that.
So, a NASA engineer's viral glitter bomb revenge package got 50 million views, but could it land him in more legal trouble than the thief who actually stole it? So, we're going to talk about that today. But
First, we have some
Ice cold beers.
ice cold Bud Lights.
I know we're all going to look. I got my other cocktail over here, but I'll also.
Well, I know y'all
partake.
bring your own drinks. I kind of find it insulting. But,
Well, we need something
Well,
to wash
this-
down the.
I'll
the
never
hose
turn down.
pipe,
I'll
as
never
Chase
turn down
calls
the
it.
gift.
I just like to make y'all suffer a little bit, and because I do know that everybody hates Bud Light except me,
Let's
and I'm
be
fine
honest.
with that.
Let's be honest.
I'm
You
fine
like
with
punishing me.
that. I do like punishing you. That's how it
ridiculous.
started, and that's how it will continue.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, this also congratulations to Shawnee on a trial win, and myself on a trial win. So
Yeah.
two good trials,
Absolutely.
and two good results.
Yay.
There you go.
There we go.
I had a good week too, just for fun.
Just being good looking and smart.
And Chase was a very
Somebody's
integral
gotta
part of my trial and very helpful. So, like we always say, we do it as a team, and a very good couple weeks for the Hawk Law Group.
Yes, it was.
Yay.
Happy and relieved. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. We can relax a little bit.
Exactly. That's what we're all here now, right?
Exactly.
So by the end of this episode, we're going to make sure that the viewer understands why porch piracy has exploded into a $12 billion problem.
Billion?
Billion.
With a B.
Billion.
Good God.
So when
We're in the wrong business. When they get into porch pirating.
I don't know. After at the end of this video, you may think differently. But so what we want to look at today is if you're booby-trapping a package for a thief, could you potentially get arrested even when they're committing a crime on your property? So let's talk a little bit about the facts. The rise of porch pirates and the booby traps have the interesting thing is I had not heard the term porch pirate before I started researching this episode.
Really?
I neither.
Yes. And then I was very surprised that, as we'll talk about when we get to the law portion,
Heard of thieves,
how far back it goes.
Sorry, go ahead.
And not only that, you referenced the case that that we're going to talk about that it goes back to in our Christmas episode last year. And I was like, oh my gosh, I learned something and retained it
And
to
retained
remember
yeah.
it.
Well,
So-
I mean, I've always, well, I don't say always, but I mean, ever since this, Amazon delivery of everything, showing up at your house, I've always heard it called porch pirating. And I remember, hearing stories about long time ago when milk used to be delivered to people's houses that people would, get up in the morning, steal other people's milk.
Oh, that's messed up.
When they hadn't paid their milkman and the milkman refused to drop off milk for the family, they would just walk over to their neighbor's house, type thing. So it's not a new, thievery is not a new phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's just a different way.
Yeah.
But it has changed in some respects in that you're not just getting milk. Sometimes you're getting a new PC. You get jewelry. You get a present for
Well, and that's what
Christmas.
I guess
the way that
they sell it all. I mean, because you're running up there grabbing random packages, and
it's truly
you don't know what you're going to get.
It's truly a present.
you don't know what you get.
Surprise.
and just a personal thing that I've seen, on it. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law lived in a condominium type area, brand new in like southern Charlotte area. Very high density housing in a area that is being gentrified. Very poor people right around the corner.
Right.
Kind of an area that some people wouldn't want to live in. But they demolished these places and they built brand new, beautiful apartments, condominiums with retail and bars and restaurants and things. And wake up in the morning, go out on the porch with a cup of coffee and look in the back alleyway, and nothing but ripped open boxes because they're delivering Amazon all night long.
Sure.
And crew comes through the neighborhood and opens up every single package and takes some things, leaves other things. Terrible.
All they're getting from my front porch is a couple, as you call them,
nasty erotica demon books.
No, they're called Romantasy books.
Romantasy?
Romantasy, yes. About that and maybe some
Tubi.
Well, I don't know.
The website that's kind of.
I'm trying to.
Is it?
I think it's a Tubi.
Tubi. I don't know. Chase knows it.
Bunch of stuff from TikTok shop. I'm sure.
That's what I mean. Yeah. There's some shop
Instagram ads is what gets me. So it's probably some T-shirts and I don't know, just random and bookish stuff these days. But
it makes sense that it would become more and more of a problem. Like Sean's example back in the day, that was pretty common. Delivering milk, and now we're getting more and more and more into delivery versus going to a store. That's prime for theft.
And so during the holiday season, here's a couple.
No pun intended on the prime.
On the prime.
And so here's some stats for you, especially going into the holiday season, which is prime hunting time. That's also in these notes. 70% of 2025 holiday shopping is going to happen online, with each adult expecting 25 packages between October and December, which is double the normal rate. And porch pirates strike 11% of Americans during the holidays. One guy has gotten a little bit popular, like we mentioned earlier, a NASA engineer. His name is Mark Robber. And
his name is Mark Robber?
Yeah, with one B, though.
Man, that's just, you talk about.
I think it's Robert. It could be Rober, I guess. Yeah. I mean, we mess up names a lot.
Yeah, I just like
Robert.
That we're talking a theft case.
You got to roll the R.
He's setting it
up.
Robert. Robber, so it's pretty good.
And so what he has done is, and I'm going to show y'all a clip. So basically, he has concocted a glitter bomb inside a fake package, and he has cell phones set up so that he can video it. Okay. Right. And so here's the video of this guy stealing this package off of his, and what happens when he takes it back to his house. Right.
Others, however, didn't make the call.
Surprise, mother. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
What the fuck?
So there's a glitter bomb.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then there's also the fart spray, that goes out in there.
The key to the whole thing is the cameras.
Yeah.
That's the gratification that you're looking for. You know.
To be able to see it. Yeah, for sure. And so in this case, I don't know that. I don't see, of the videos I've seen of his, I don't know that there's a lot of potential injuries that could come from what he's doing. But I do have another clip I want to show you guys that is a series of, these are popular. They're all over YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and say that these are probably AI generated. Yeah, sure. Because it is so hard to find these videos that are not anything that's not AI generated.
There's still certain things that happen just like this.
But this is a great example, this clip of how you can see the potential of these other, not just glitter bombs, but you have these packages that will explode almost like the same paint that they use in like these color runs and stuff, right? Sure. And so let's watch this. Again, we know this is probably AI generated, but just bear with us here. Don't have confetti in it.
I have seen, without some of these obviously are AI, but I have seen that the little smoke bomb things done in real life. So, this is not far off. I think it's added to it, but it's definitely happens.
Well, some of these examples I wanted to show too is like, for instance, that one girl felt like it hit her head. And so it's like, this is showing where there is potential for like injury on your property of another individual. Like that one.
Yeah, there's all kind of legal implications to a lot of this stuff, and like I said, that's why we're here. We're gonna get into it.
Yeah.
Was there dynamite in that one?
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
Obviously it's happening. Every one of those people like backed up to the front door. I don't think most porch pirates are out there
doing
that. They're parking and walking down the street and running up and grabbing a package.
For sure.
They have a little bit sense that, 60% of America has these ring cameras on their front door and things like that.
To me, it's very interesting. And you go back to, this is one of those law school questions.
Are you getting into the law part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. Let's do it.
But just to kind of open it up, it's like, when you study these outlandish cases in law school to kind of teach you the framework. And this is something we all of us are around 20-ish years or whatever. This wasn't a big problem, so to speak, back then. It was a little bit, but it's not. So you see these things and you go, oh, I'll never use that law that I learned in law school. And now it comes back and y'all what I'm talking about, the booby-trap laws and all that stuff that we learned about.
Yeah.
So there's all kind of implication on criminal and civil.
Sure.
Which is just kind of interesting. So, what is y'all's take on kind of generally overall, Chase? How do you view it?
Yeah, the thing I noticed in law school is the cases they taught us. It was the bare minimum that you needed to bring a claim. Okay, so what has to happen in order for you to actually have a legal claim for some sort of personal injury or anything like that? And then usually it was what is so extreme that not only are we going to hold you civilly liable, but you now likely have some sort of criminal charge. And so it was basically just showing you where the lines were and hoping that as a law student, you could recognize what falls in between where your case, where your facts and your client's walking in with falls in that scale. Do they have enough for a lawsuit, or do they need to worry about
what are the exceptions? What are the exceptions to the exceptions? And
the real life version of it, all that is true and all that is real life. Then that one key element they really don't teach you that much in law school about, and that is damages. So all that, you're going through what is a case and all that stuff and all the levels or whatever. But in the real world, you do all that, but you got one more key element is what is recoverable.
You have to show that you're damn.
And how can you recover?
And how a jury's going to react to it.
Exactly.
Right? Whereas they may feel pretty bad that a person has some issues with their eyes, but if you come in there showing that you're actually stealing someone's computer off their front porch and the dust from the bomb that exploded or whatever gets in your eyes, they're not going to have a whole lot of sympathy for you in that situation.
And in order to bring your claim, you have to basically say that you are a criminal.
Of course you have to. You have to admit that you just stole some stuff. Like that's,
it's not very persuasive to say that you accidentally picked up this package off of this person's porch, thinking it was yours, and it exploded in your face.
This ain't in my house.
Yeah, you go from order history to criminal history real quick.
Exactly.
Well, the classic case, I can chase you. You're better with names and remembering case names than I am, but I know the case, the fact pattern, and I'm Sean, you do too, is the Booby-Trap case with the shotgun and the abandoned house and the stealing and all that stuff. And so,
Catco.
Is that what it is?
Catco
I can never remember the names.
That's right.
And
we talked about this one last year. When we were doing our Christmas episode and we were going over Home Alone, and and I was so excited because when I was researching this, I was like, I remember Chase talking about that case, and I remember it.
Yeah, and it's an example. It's an example of what I talked about earlier, of where the line is drawn,
right?
Of where the law says.
So tell people what happened. If they don't know.
So in that situation, Bryony owned a farm, and it had multiple generations living on this farm. And
this was in the 70s.
Yeah, well, 60s is when all this stuff was going on, and it eventually resolved in the early 70s. But Bryony was basically overseeing this large farm, and they had multiple generations living on that farm. Some of the old houses and some of the old outbuildings for the actual farm were no longer maintained. They didn't really engage in farming too much. And so they became kind of dilapidated, not cared for too much, and they experienced a lot of break-ins. Well, Bryony, in order to stop the break-ins, of course, boarded up all the windows. They put up no trespassing signs, but they still experienced break-ins. So, unfortunately, the husband of Bryony,
well, you can just that's all. So these cases sometimes we read or get into the legalese of it. But if you actually just close your eyes and think about it, this guy's just pissed.
I'm gonna stop this shit.
I'm on one way or other. I'm on this shit's gonna stop.
Yeah. Well, this is where he went too far, according to the law, is that he decided that the best thing to do would be to set up a shotgun, pointed at the door that he thought would-be trespassers might be coming into. And when they actually opened the door, that the shotgun would go off and shoot the person that was breaking into the place.
Like Kevin McAllister from Home Alone.
Yeah,
but
he set up a Home Alone.
But real.
It wasn't a BB gun.
This wasn't ornaments in your feet or an iron in the face. This was taking out your legs.
Yeah, and so they ruled, and Iowa Supreme Court ruled that the law has always placed a higher value upon human safety than upon mere rights in property. So even against trespassers and thieves, homeowners cannot use deadly force or harmful traps unless there's a threat to human life, which we've definitely talked about in previous episodes.
Well, one thing I want to make clear is, and this is, so people get mad about verdicts and this kind of stuff, and even on this case, they may say, "Oh, well, that's not in 1970. It's not worth $30,000." All that the courts are telling you, or as a lawyer or anybody, is that all they're saying is that you have the ability to present this to a jury. The judge and the appellate courts and all this stuff didn't award the money. They awarded the opportunity to present it to a jury. So that means, you know, like we were talking earlier, if you're a thief, you got to admit it. So, but a jury still has to decide. So they may say, well, you got hurt, but that's on you. And so it's still, this is just still, I can't stress it enough. People think it's like a win, as an automatic win. The appellate court says, yes, you can try the case. Well, you still got to, the jury, the peers, the people that are watching are the ones still making the decision on what to award or not to award.
And regardless of the amount of injuries that you have, the amount of medical bills you have or something like that, the jury is allowed to and will take into consideration what your conduct was.
What you were doing.
Absolutely.
You know, the thing that I always think about, you know, is, you know, CATCO basically means what we've been taught in law school and throughout our legal career. There's, you know, everyone has a duty to other people.
Sure.
But you have no duty to a trespasser on your property except for to not do them, you know, intentional harm like that. You know, now in Georgia, you can protect your personal property.
Sure.
Not even just your house, you know, where you're living. You have a right to use reasonable force to protect your property. Reasonable.
Keyword.
And in these cases where, you know, let's say the guy in CATCO prevailed and it went to a jury, like you said, the jury is determining what he is owed and what is. And it's for, you know, it's going to diminish the value of it. You know, it's
the jury can say, you know, we found that such and such was negligence because he put up the gun, but we hate this guy so much we're still awarding $0
or $1
or $1. You know, that has happened.
Well, and that's the thing with damages is that, you know, there has to be damages, and even if there are damages, a jury can say, you know,
we don't like you.
Discriminate against you because of your role in it, or they can apportion. They can say, yes, this guy is absolutely wrong for doing this.
80%
but the person who got shot in the legs by the shotgun is 80% at fault. And here in Georgia, that would mean he would get 0.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Same thing in South Carolina.
Is it? Okay.
Yep. So
have you been decorating, Chase? You got a little bit of glitter on your shirt. You've been putting up the Christmas tree?
Well, I'm just trying to be on brand with the episode.
He's going down Lower Broad, maybe. I don't know. Got to check on Chase. Got to check on him.
So let's talk about what might happen or what this means realistically. Like, say, okay, for instance, what if let's hypothetical situation. I rig up, because the thing, we didn't even show videos of, like, there are some of these, like you're saying, they rig them with blank, like, contraptions. And, like, so that's, you know, these things explode and there's projectiles going at people's faces, etc. So what happens if I set up on my porch, you know, a device, thank you, a Booby-Trap, if you will, and then the perpetrator that I'm trying to catch does not come by and do that, but maybe my Amazon delivery person comes to put another box on top of it and boom, or maybe a small child comes onto my porch or my own child for that matter.
Yeah.
And the wrong person is getting something exploded in them. So what happens then?
Well, you started.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So you, aside from your own child, because there's
I figured
there's
when I
take
did
that
that
out.
hypothetical, I was like,
Well, that's a whole
went
nother
too
bag
far.
of worms there.
Right.
That's
So when it comes to protecting your property, of course, you can use reasonable force in order to protect that property. And this is something that I would mention right now to everyone out there that's ever been charged with a crime or been sued for their behavior. You might not have the best gauge. Your brain might not necessarily operate the way that most other people's operate when it comes to deciding what is reasonable and what is not reasonable. So before you set up any trap at your home, you might want to run it past a few of your conscientious friends with no criminal history.
In my case, my bosses. Yes. Okay.
Exactly, because you can use reasonable force in order to protect your property. Does it mean that you
Lindsay,
get to...
let's buy you a Ring camera before you set up booby traps.
Perfect.
Got it.
Okay. If you see a porch pirate, can you take a gun and point it at them and get your stuff back? Can you shoot over their heads?
Or you
Probably a little
I
unreasonable.
would say that's probably
Right. You are dancing dancing on the line, because in that Caco case, there was $20,000 in compensatory damages.
Yeah.
And $10,000.
What are compensatory damages?
Compensatory damages was to make up for the injury that was caused. Okay. Pain and suffering, economic damages, stuff like that. There was $10,000 in punitive damages. That was to punish the person.
Okay.
Only to punish the person for their behavior. And so when you're thinking about this type of behavior, it was made clear in that case that we don't want individuals doing what this gentleman did.
Yeah.
You don't want Batmans out there. You don't want vigilantes.
Absolutely.
Well, whatever they were trying to steal is not worth the value of a human life.
No. And so if you have a question about whether or not what you're doing is reasonable, it's a very good idea to consult a lawyer or consult your
I'll take
friend.
the other side of that, Chase.
Of course you would, Reed.
I just think, I agree. I do agree with you that, generally, most of the time it's a bad idea to do any of this stuff. But some people are petty, including myself, and so I've been known to do.
I was going to say, if anybody at this table would do this, I know exactly what it would be.
Yeah, small things of little consequence. I'm just saying, if anybody understands having some exploding confetti, that would be me. I get it. So
Reed is the number one person at this table that would have that desire.
Absolutely, without question. Without question. I enjoy it. I think it's funny.
If we got sued, I would know who the perpetrator was.
It was 100%.
As a matter of fact, you're likely to people after this are looking, how can I build the same?
I've built that. No. But no, in all seriousness, generally, I still don't think you should do it. But generally, it's really going to come down to what kind of harm, right? And so if it's confetti, if it's glitter, if it's fart spray, I mean, you probably shouldn't do it, and it's annoying and all that stuff. But as far as criminal,
pretty harmless.
Nothing's going to happen criminally. And then civilly, there's really no damage. So even if you won, you'd win $1. And nobody's taking the case. But what you do have to be weary of is kind of the thing you were saying is not necessarily the wrong person, but let's say you had a spray in there or whatever, and somebody was allergic. That's not foreseeable. But
I've never heard of a fart spray.
Or the lady that fell hit her head,
or the lady that
it
something
causes
else.
you to fall or hit your head, or just the force of that. I can imagine that if with a little bit of force, I throw a crap ton of glitter in your eye.
Yeah, right.
There could be some serious damages.
That's what I just kept thinking the whole time. I was like, their eyes. Their eyes.
It would be rare in like those kind of soft situations. A foam snake explodes or whatever it is. But there is potential that somebody could get seriously hurt. And if somebody gets seriously hurt, odds are they're going to recover something. They're going to do, I mean, especially if you intentionally caused it. You didn't intentionally cause them to get seriously hurt or mean for them to get seriously hurt. But if you created the situation where it was foreseeable that that person could get seriously hurt, then you're in trouble. You're in trouble. You own some responsibility.
Yeah.
And you could be criminally held responsible.
Yeah.
I mean, there's situations where, I mean, there are statutes in almost every state, including Georgia, where we're at, where you can be held liable for criminal negligence for doing something that is,
Reckless.
so outside of the normal standard of care or way that someone would do something.
How about this one,
that
Sean?
it puts somebody in danger.
Like I had a friend whose parent used to dress up as that's not me, I promise. But used to dress up as it had a big bear suit and like a Sasquatch type thing, and would in the late nights have some drinks and go out there in country roads and scare cars. Don't you think that if somebody got to a wreck, wouldn't that lead to criminal charges?
Criminal and civil.
Yeah, obviously.
For the record, that
obviously
wasn't
civil.
hypothetical. That was a true story.
That's a true story. No one got hurt to my knowledge, but if someone did, civilly, obviously, but you think criminal as well on that?
It's quite possible. It depends on, the facts of everything, but, anytime that you do something, your actions are so out far or so outside the norm of a reasonable person would do, whether it be an act or whether it be an omission, and it causes somebody, harm, you could be held criminally liable.
Yep. So
in most states.
So I think our practical takeaway is one: don't be a vigilante.
Right.
We don't need a Batman.
Please. And that, like we talked about, you have the right to use reasonable force to protect your property. There's some people that are just, like me, if I saw a person stealing a package off my front porch, I'm chasing them down.
Yeah.
Just, I'm going to tackle them in the front yard. I'm taking it back. My advice as an attorney to anybody is to not do that.
Not to say, do what I say, not what I do.
Because there's something in me that is just going to make me do that. But if you have a rational choice to make and your body and mind are able to make that rational choice.
Think back to this episode.
Make that rational choice, because there's so much of
there's so many unknowns.
You're increasing the likelihood of you being injured.
Yeah.
And the last thing we want to do is get injured over, the $80 Amazon purchase that we got. Let the guy have
the new book we just ordered, pre-ordered.
Call the police. Eventually, karma's going to catch up with him, and he might catch a glitter bomb in the future.
I want to ask y'all before we I know we're running out of time, but I do want to ask y'all one thing. Chase and Sean and Lindsay too. I know y'all maybe you have, but like those setup bikes where they're on a chain or
I like those even better than the
glitter bomb
or the backpacks.
The backpacks.
They grab the backpack and then the guy goes, "Hey, that's mine," and they take off running and they're hit on a rope. Love it.
We should find some videos of that.
Well, it's the same area.
Yeah.
So what do y'all think on those? That's obviously raising the bar, especially with the bike. If you're riding a bike and it's attached to a train, even though you stole it, it's going to hurt bad. Like, do y'all think that's recoverable? What do we think?
I think it's the same thing. I think it's a defensive property and whether or not it's reasonable. And here's the thing is, like, you're taking the risk of injuring somebody really bad. If you're going to jolt somebody off a bike and onto the concrete, right, they could get injured real bad. And if you've got that going against you, a jury is likely to be sympathetic to a person that gets paralyzed, had a traumatic brain injury, anything like that, right? And so you're taking a risk, a real risk to do that.
I could see one that was tied up having a better success rate as far as not getting in trouble from the person setting it up.
Yeah.
Your argument is I just tied my bike up. Yeah, I knew somebody might steal it in that road, but it was just tied up versus the one where the seat pops down and the pole sticks up in.
I've seen them where they electrocute them. Yeah, they shock them.
Right. Those I think would be I think you'd be in some serious.
Well, and
I've not seen these
I think you'd be
videos.
in serious trouble with those criminally. I mean, because you could seriously
Yeah.
injure somebody, kill them.
Yeah.
Versus, I'm not saying do any of them, but if you are, I would say tie up the bike. Don't make it where the bike's going to kill them.
well, in the day and age of all things digital, part of that case and that claim is going to be digital evidence.
Yeah.
Where if you're putting these things on YouTube or TikTok,
that's what they're for.
Then
they're creating it. Yeah.
Absolutely. You're going to have liability.
Yeah.
If you just did it so that if it happened to somebody, and you're like you said, all I did is tie a rope or chain to my bike.
Yeah.
I can't help it if this guy,
Right.
if you got 70 videos of people doing it, or if you went and tied it up in a place that you didn't live and are shooting videos of it, there's, evidence that a reasonable person who's looking at is going to say, this guy's a jackass. He's out to hurt somebody.
Exactly. This is enough.
Well, I'll say this about that Mark Rober guy. He's a NASA engineer and all that. The
robber.
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 Yeah.
Anti-robber.
He spent 6 months building this package.
Yeah.
So he was pretty thoughtful about doing it. Not
Look,
everybody out there
It's
is
interesting. We just showed a clip, but it's interesting to watch.
Engineer.
We're trying to did it.
We're still trying to get to the moon. Let's work on that instead of that.
Yeah. So he spent 6 months doing this. He made this video. This video has now not 50 million views, but 93 million views. So he made between $300,000 and $700,000 from this one particular video. He has 71 million
We're trying
subscribers.
to tell people not to do this, and you're
I'm
making
just telling
it worse.
you. I'm just telling you. Unless you have 71 million subscribers on YouTube, it's going to be the cost benefit analysis of doing some of this stuff is not in your favor.
Well, I imagine we'll probably get 90 million or so views on this one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a check yet. Where those checks going?
And the last thing I want to tell you about this particular thing is that, some people might say, well, I have homeowners insurance.
Yeah, that's a good point.
My conduct, it's going to be covered by homeowners. No.
Nope.
No. Your homeowner's insurance covers accidental conduct. Negligence, not warning people of a hole in your backyard, that type of thing. Not intentional conduct.
So you're saying if you purposely booby-trap
if you do that
on your property, that
you
insurance
are
is not
on the
covering you.
hook for paying all that person's damages. You are on the hook for hiring your own attorney. If it was negligence and you just didn't tell somebody about a hole in your backyard, right? Then the insurance company will come in and come in and pay for your attorney and pay for the damages. But if you intentionally hurt somebody, there is no coverage for you.
That's a really good takeaway.
Basically, if you're an an accidental jerk, they'll cover you. If you're an intentional jerk, they won't. I mean, that's what it is.
Bottom line, hey, that sums it up. That's it. So the key lesson we're taking away today is that porch pirates commit crimes, but taking the law into your own hands with booby traps can make you the criminal. And the legal system values human safety over property, even stolen property, every single time.
No, which it should.
As it should, for sure. So
No, they are funny.
They are very funny.
yes, you should go.
Don't do it.
You should go Google some and see if you can find ones that are AI generated, because I could not. But that sums it up for today. On our next episode, we've got quite a treat. It's a 2-part series of a year in review of some of our favorite cases that we covered. And so we'll see you guys next time for that. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications so that you can be notified when new episodes come out. Thanks for watching.